Good afternoon. This is Poet Anthony Taylor of the Anthony Taylor Poetry Show, episode number 19. Thank God, episode number 19. Today is March 13, 2016, a Sunday. I'm going to read a villanelle that's entitled Founders Library. Founders Library. Founders Library during the early 1980s at Howard University was a great resource for learning. Founders Library, the building, the books, and the personnel who were well maintained. Founders Library in the early 1980s was located on a hill not too far from the bus stop that dropped off and picked up the students from Howard University dorms. Founders Library resembled a palace with 3 or 4 big stairs in front of the doorway entrance. Founders Library had an east wing, had a west wing, a third floor capped with a dome and a clock. Founders Library, from what I can remember, had study halls and special collections that people from all around the world would come to visit. As you walk through the entrance of Founders Library, your feelings were of honor, respect, and nobility of learners and scholars at the prestigious Howard University to achieve his or her dreams about life. Founders Library, a tool for research and learning. How many hours, days, weeks, months, and years I spent studying at Founders Library. I never took the time to add up the hours of studying at Founders Library. It was like being in a heaven of books and knowledge to conduct term papers and research. Founders Library, open 7 days a week, but at different hours. Behind the library, a long, steep hill leads to another part of Howard University's campus. If I remember correctly, the steep hill was covered with rows of brass. To the right of the library, as you proceed downward, there was a building for the science. To the left of the library, there was a building for the students to live in the dormitory. Founders Library, located on a hill in the nation's capital. Every hour on an hour, the clock would chime the arrival of a new hour of the day. What a wonderful sound to hear as you would walk across the campus for your next class. Founders Library, early 1980s. A rally here, a rally there, a rally everywhere. The grounds in front of Founders Library were well known for raising voices to certain campus and political issues at that time. Personally, I did not attend these rallies in front of the library. I would see the various protests as I walked across the campus. The rally, when held, was peaceful to my knowledge. Founders Library. The library was amongst the famous buildings at Howard University. Upon walking onto the main campus at Howard University, a person would have saw the Blackburn Center, Locke Hall, Frederick Douglass Memorial Hall, I think it was called, and many other well-known buildings on the main campus during the early 1980s. When I arrived at Howard University in 1979, the Blackburn Center had just been completed and opened up for business at the university. The center was a place for forums, recreation, and dining. To discuss the Blackburn Center, another poem would have to be written. Founders Library, early 1980s. What memories, what a landmark, and what a treasure trove of knowledge. I wonder if I could ever get another opportunity to study at Founders Library. Founders Library, early 1980s. I will never forget that long flagpole standing in the center of the yard in front of Founders Library. The flagpole, if I recall correctly, will fly the U.S. flag of America and Howard University's flag. Founders Library. The image of the library always stayed in the back of my mind. the face of the clock, the tower of the building. The tower of the building of Founders Library always standing against the background of the blue skies, sometimes with clouds in the background. I will never forget that image. Founders Library, what a landmark. Founders Library, a symbol of Howard's prestigious image. It does not matter if the season is summer, fall, winter, or spring. Founders Library constantly stands tall amidst the seasons of the year. During the fall, you see the changing of the leaves on the trees on the yard in front of the Founders Library. It is a beautiful sight. Brown, yellow, green, and gold foliage will cover the yard in the fall. During the winter, if the temperature is cold enough, the yard is covered with thin layers of snow. Oh, what a sight to observe Founders Library during the four seasons. Founders Library during the early 1980s was like a Starbucks today for people to hang out to study, while at Starbucks people hang out to drink coffee. And hang out to study, not gossip, and hang out to gather primary and secondary sources to conduct research. Founders Library, a cornerstone among cornerstones at Howard University. Founders Library, one of the first buildings erected when Howard University was constructed during the middle part of the 19th century. Founders Library, a cornerstone of learning next to the lecture hall. Founders Library, my first school's alma mater's library. Founders Library, a great source of information. Founders Library, a place to study during the summer, fall, winter, and spring. Founders Library, a walk among the great scholars who walk the campus and study at Founders Library to obtain that degree. Thank you. And that concludes the reading of Founders Library de Villanelle. This concludes the Anthony Taylor Poetry Show, number 19. I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next 2 weeks. Thank you.